Good morning, Perth Amboy. For those of you that don't know me, my name is, I'm the police chief here in the city of Perth Amboy, and my name is Roman McEwen. If you notice, we're doing this a little bit differently today than we ordinarily do. Ordinarily, the mayor opens up her information session. But today, because of certain circumstances that are occurring within the city, I'm here to speak to you directly first. First and foremost, as a city of Perth Amboy, I have to commend each and every one of you for the most part. You're doing a tremendous job with social distancing, with wearing your personal protection equipment, and following the governor's directives. As you all know, we have a very high alarming rate of infections here in the city of Perth Amboy. And that's because we are a very hard-working community, or men and women, or husbands and wives, or we're a blue-collar town, and we work very hard to support our families. And we have a higher risk of exposure than a lot of communities do, because we don't have the availability to work out of our homes like some communities do. So that's one of the obstacles we're facing. But to quote Governor Murphy, unfortunately, we do have a few knuckleheads in this town, and those knuckleheads are causing us an extreme dangerous situation here in the city of Perth Amboy. And I just want to mention again, this is not reflective of the entire community, but unfortunately, these are some of the people that we do have to deal with. As of this past weekend, we had 4 more officers come back positive for the coronavirus. We've had 10 overall so far here in the city of Perth Amboy. So again, our officers are out there each and every day putting themselves in harm's way. And sadly, this is some of the things that we've had to deal with this weekend, and we need to put a stop to it, and we're going to put a stop to it now. Just this past Saturday night, we got sent to a loud party over on Sayre Avenue. Upon arrival, officers found a large group of people making some type of homemade music video, completely disregarding social distance, completely regarding all of the governor's directives, and creating an extremely dangerous situation, not only for our police officers and our first responders who had to go to this incident, but also to our city at large, because now these people go out into the community. 17 people were charged in this particular incident with violating the governor's directive. 34 summonses were issued for violating the governor's directive. And I would also like to report many of these people that were involved in this incident were out of town. And they completely disregarded the message that the mayor's been putting out, that the governor's been putting out, that the police department's putting out. They're sitting there, they're shaking hands, they're hugging each other, they're saying, having a good old time. Clearly they had come from a cramped apartment with poor ventilation and creating a tremendous health risk here in the city of Perth Amboy, and that's got to stop. So for that particular incident, 34 summonses were issued, and each summons carries a potential fine of $1,000. That's followed up by Tuesday. Just yesterday, we got a report of a large group inside an illegal social club. When the officers arrived, they found 17 people inside basically a one-room apartment, congregating. No protection, no mask, no gloves, no anything. And once again, these are the people that are spreading the virus through our community. And also, just like with the incident on Saturday, a lot of these people did not come and did not live in Perth Amboy. So the message needs to be clear. We are not putting up with this nonsense, because we cannot afford our citizens, the ones that are hardworking, the ones that are doing the right thing and following all the directives from the mayor, the governor, ourselves, all of our officials, to follow social distancing and be responsible, and that for whatever reason they choose not to do it. In this particular instance from yesterday, 17 violations of the governor's directive were issued. That brings a total from Saturday till yesterday to 51 violations of the governor's directive were issued here in the city of Perth Amboy. Also, several people have been arrested. We are not tolerating this. I cannot express to you enough that we mean business. Enough's enough. Because for the 99% that are playing by the rules and are protecting their families, we don't need the 1% knuckleheads running around town potentially infecting others because they don't want to abide by the rules. Those days are over. It's not going to happen anymore. And keep in mind, we have summer coming. Yesterday was a beautiful day. There were people all over the boardwalk, down by our beach area. Maintain social distancing. Maintain the distance between each other. Enjoy the outdoors. Enjoy the beautiful weather. But keep in mind, just as the weather changes, we don't forget the rules. Because once we forget the rules, we give the virus the opportunity to come back. And we need to rid our city of this situation, because it's critical. All right, so once again, I just want to thank everybody for cooperating, but unfortunately, we do have some people that don't want to abide by the rules, and just as I demonstrated through this past weekend, we still have officers getting sick, we still have city residents getting sick, and it doesn't help when we have these people running around town thinking they can do whatever they want and the rules don't abide to them. I encourage each and every one of you that are listening to this, if you see any type of large social gathering, if you see anybody that's not playing by the rules, please call your police department. We will respond and we will hold these people strictly accountable. Because I'm tired of my officers getting sick, I'm tired of citizens in this community getting sick, and I'm tired of people not listening to us. The message is quite clear. You all know what you're supposed to do, and we need to do it as a team and as a community. So help us, help you, and let's rid this town of this deadly pandemic that we're dealing with. All right, thank you very much. I'd next like to introduce the Honorable Mayor of our city, Mayor Wilder Diaz.
Thank you, Chief. As the residents have seen, we changed the format. We believe that it was so important to update you what is happening throughout the city. As you heard, the chief had to, especially our police department, had issued summonses for it wasn't only residents from the city of Perth Amboy. There were others that came from other areas from the state that decided that they were going to come to Perth Amboy and not take precautions whatsoever, and exposing our own residents. So I am thankful that the police department did what they're supposed to do. They did issue 51 summonses, and as you heard from the chief, there were arrests made. And this is clear that we are not going to tolerate in the city of Perth Amboy basically those that just do not want to follow the mandate of our governor. And we want to just continue. This is about the well-being of an entire community. And we will continue to enforce where we need to enforce. So for residents of the city of Perth Amboy, please take this seriously. The police department has been very busy this past weekend. And we could only help ourselves by ensuring that we are complying to the mandates. And I want to remind you again that we're here to assist you. My office and I are working throughout this crisis. It's been weeks now. We've been informing the residents about how serious this contagious virus is, and we just want to continue to update you and just inform you and to keep our community healthy. So if you have any questions or any concerns, please continue to call us. My number at City Hall is 732-826-7121. You can email me at mayorsoffice@perthamboynj.org. For more updates and information, please visit the city website. We're continuously updating the website, and that's www.ci.perthamboynj.org. And we have information links that are very informative and helpful for our residents. If you know someone, again, in need of any assistance, we have Human Services. Their number is 732-826-1690, extension 4305. We're still providing meals for our children. Please, parents, it's Monday, Wednesday, and Friday from 8 in the morning to 11:30 in the morning. And the sites are the Willen School, the Rose Lopez School, the Jankowski Community Center, and Perth Amboy High School. We want our community, please, if families, this is provided to our children because we're working so closely with the Board of Education, and I want to thank them. And we're still helping our seniors. We're still providing meals for our seniors. So again, I'm going to repeat. Human Services number 732-826-1690, extension 4305. If you see something, please report it. The number at the police department, 732-442-4400. Any emergencies, please call 911. I want to thank also businesses throughout the city have been contacting me. I've been in contact and spoke to many large corporations that have been in the city of Perth Amboy for some time now. Yes, they individualized shirts, provided us with masks and for the police department so that we can also be out in the neighborhoods. And I know the police department is going to be handling giving out those masks. Please, residents, now more than ever, we have to come together as a community and abide by the restrictions that are in place. I do also want to thank some of the other businesses again. We've had Goya Foods and other businesses that have been providing meals for our community. And now, most importantly, I'm going to have Larry come back up. But the message today is that we are not going to continue to tolerate those that are in violation. We are making it clear. Our infection rate has continued to grow, but again, that's because our residents are getting tested. I can't stress it enough about how important it is that if you have the symptoms, please contact your physician. If you don't have a doctor, please reach out to the Jewish Renaissance Medical Center. Make that appointment. It's by appointment only. And they ask for information. Please leave your telephone number, your first name, your last name, your address, and your date of birth. That's what they are requesting when residents are calling them. And they are returning telephone calls. But if you're not leaving them information, chances are they might not get in contact with you. Thank you, and let's continue to work together. El presidente de la ciudad de Perth Amboy, hoy el jefe de policía informó a los residentes que este fin de semana en la ciudad de Perth Amboy el departamento de policía tenía que dar violaciones a residentes de la ciudad de Perth Amboy que no estaban siguiendo la regla. Ya este fin de semana hasta hoy fueron 51 violaciones que le dieron a personas que no estaban siguiendo el mandato de nuestro gobernador aquí en la ciudad de Perth Amboy. También arrestaron individuos y lo van a cargar con ellos con violación de la ley de nuestro gobernador. Le estoy pidiendo a los residentes, por favor, vamos a cooperar y vamos a seguir esta regla. El departamento de policía está haciendo su trabajo y van a seguir dando violaciones a esas personas y que no quieran a seguir la regla y el mandato de nuestro gobernador. Todavía estamos trabajando. Si ustedes necesitan cualquier información, sigan llamándome en la oficina mía. Mi departamento, todos los departamentos están trabajando y proveyéndole servicio. Estamos aquí, ustedes no están solos, le estamos proveyendo información. Si necesitan o tienen una inquietud, llámanos. El número es 732-826-7121. Y también cualquier persona que tenga necesidad, el teléfono es 732-826-1690. La extensión es 4305. Estamos también proveyendo los alimentos para los niños. Eso sigue todos los lunes, miércoles y viernes, de 8 de la mañana hasta las 11:30 de la mañana. Y estos alimentos se pueden conseguir en Willen School, la High School, también en el centro de nosotros, Rose Lopez School es otra escuela, y el centro de comunidad que es el Jarkowski Community Center, 1 Aller Street. Por favor, si necesitan alimentos para sus niños, recuérdense, lunes, miércoles y viernes, de 8:30 hasta 11 de la mañana. Le quiero mandar las gracias y otra vez, pueblo, vamos a seguir trabajando. Más personas sí tienen el virus, por eso es porque los residentes de la ciudad de Perth Amboy se están haciendo los estudios, se están haciendo los análisis. Esto es la única manera que nosotros, ustedes, pueden asegurarse que su salud, van a poder cuidar su salud y la salud de su familia, y esto es para el bienestar de la comunidad. Le doy las gracias a esas personas que sí se están haciendo los análisis y que se están cuidando. Ahora, si hay necesidad de esas personas, por favor sigan llamándonos, y el número es 732-826-1690, la extensión es 4305. Vamos a seguir trabajando como buenos hermanos que somos en la ciudad de Perth Amboy, pero recuérdense que el departamento de policía sí están dando a través de la ciudad personas que no quieran seguir el mandato del gobernador, ahora sí le están dando violaciones. Y eso va a ser ya son más de 50 personas durante este fin de semana. Y tenemos que estar bien conscientes que el departamento de policía está haciendo su trabajo. Muchas gracias y vamos a seguir trabajando juntos. Larry, and now I'll present to Larry Catano. Again, thank you.
Thank you, Mayor. I'd like to begin today in offering my condolences to the 64 lives that were lost to the citizens of the city of Perth Amboy. The number's a little up from the last time that we met, and we know, unfortunately, that the number will probably continue to increase. We hope that with all your cooperation and everything that we've spoken about today, and cooperation and doing the right thing, that that number will not increase all that much, but we know that it will. I stand before you today with over 1,600 City of Perth Amboy residents that have tested positive for this virus. 1,600. And again, sadly, we know that that number is going to increase. Part of the reasons for that increase, we know, is the testing. I've always talked about it here, that testing is key. We know that the more people tested, the more positives that we are going to see. State-wise, they've been seeing lately more negative tests than positive tests. Again, that's on the state overall. Here in the city, we don't have those specific numbers. We're working with the Jewish Renaissance Medical Center, as the mayor mentioned, who's doing the lion's share of the testing to the tune of a minimum of 100 a day or more that they've been testing on a regular basis. We said that, as always, testing is key. That's going to give us the true sense of where this is and where this disease is and where it's taking us to and where we've been. I know you've heard a lot lately on the national news and so forth and local news about contact tracing and that being something of new. Just understand a little bit about contact tracing. That is something that when you originally start with the disease, to try to contact all the people that you have contacted with any amount of time. We were originally past that phase and past containment. What the contact tracing now is, with the slowdown, with everyone listening and doing what they're supposed to do and not coming out and doing the social distancing, and once we start getting that true flattening of the curve and we get a handle on the amount of cases on a daily basis, that's when the contact tracing will come back into play. So you've heard a lot about that, and you will probably be seeing that come up and within the next couple of weeks to months. Once we get this straightened out and get a better handle on it, contact tracing will be coming more in the fold. We know that we have the testing site at the Jewish Renaissance Medical Center. This past weekend, we had a drive-through testing site, which was consisted of our first responders and essential personnel for the city of Perth Amboy. It was a closed site by appointment only for those particular individuals. That gave us the test run and the ability to be able to do testing and understand testing and get that information through and get that to everyone out there that needed to be. That particular one was not open to the public. They will be open to the public in the future. We'll be hearing from the Jewish Renaissance Medical Center as well as the City of Perth Amboy. We'll put out a joint release and we'll get that information out with the information to be able to do testing at those specific sites. I understand that we are logistically challenged here in the City of Perth Amboy. We do not have that many open areas where the testing can be done as what's required to get the amount of vehicles through that need to get through, need to be out there. It creates challenges. So there are different locations throughout the city that we have selected, but again, it's very difficult to have everything that's needed in a testing site to be able to get all of the vehicles and so forth processed and through. I can assure you these testing sites are safe. No one leaves their vehicles. They stay in their vehicles. And of course, the people conducting their tests, as they are medical professionals, and any medical professional you would go see today would be dressed in appropriate garb for exposure to potential COVID cases. So you will see them with masks, you will see them with shields, that type of thing, as any medical professional you will see today that you would go visit would be dressed in the same attire. Again, no one leaves their vehicles and everything is there. It's coordinated with the Office of Emergency Management and the Jewish Renaissance Medical Center in conjunction with the police department for the safety and security of everyone. So you will see additional testing sites coming up eventually, and they will be, in fact, put out to everyone. Recently, we've purchased some additional signboards. I know you've seen a couple out there that we've had. We've gotten additional signboards, so we'll be able to get some messages out to other locations, as well as the testing site. We'll be able to get some more information out. So again, there was the testing site information will be coming out, will be forthcoming, and you will also see that on the message boards, the additional message boards that we purchased. A little bit in the way of some of the numbers that the chief gave about the number of officers that were infected with this disease. We're at almost 10% of our police officers, of our full-time line police officers. And yet the city has about a 3% population, based on population, about 3%. So what does that tell you? It tells you that the men and women that put their lives on the line every day have a triple rate over what the citizens do in the city of Perth Amboy. And that's because they're coming to you when you call, when you need help, and when it's not the best time, and you're calling them to come and help you. They're there. They're there for that reason. And for that reason, we see that high number of people infected, of officers that are infected. Again, almost triple what the rate of normal population infection rate is. So understand that, and understand the passion that the chief and I and the mayor have when we try to bring this to you and explain to you how important it is to stay home and how important it is for you to listen. You think it may not be affecting you, but it could be affecting others. 10%, just about 10% of police officers get infected with this disease. Why? Because of the couple people who don't want to listen and don't want to do it and bring that disease to other people. If you had a loved one, a family member, would you want people doing that? Would you want people infecting them and doing what not to be done? Again, we're all humans. All of us that wear the uniform, we're all humans. We're all human beings. We all have families. We don't want to bring it home either. So please, just do what you're supposed to do. The time for education is quite over. There hasn't been of the hours and hours of video of time that we spent up here between all of our professionals. The hours that you have on a federal, on a national, on a state level of the education. Stay home, social distancing. Unless you've lived under a rock for the last 57 days that this emergency has been going on, you know better. You know it's not time to be out there. You know it's not time to play around. You know what you're supposed to do. You know what you're not supposed to do. So the education time is over. Now it's the enforcement time. As the chief said, that's why you've gotten the summonses that you've gotten. That's why you see the arrests that you've been seeing. Okay? No one wants to do that. That's not the first option. That's not the community sense of the police department is not that. It is education, as always, and trying to get people not to do it. We've been there, done that. Now it's a time for enforcement, because obviously just certain people are not getting it. And you need to get it so you do not continue to infect fellow police officers, fellow first responders, any citizens of the city of Perth Amboy. Especially as you're coming from out of town and so forth. You're supposed to be staying in your own town. You're supposed to be staying home. You're not supposed to be here infecting our population, or anyone for that matter. So please, again, education is over, school's out, it's time for enforcement. And that's what you'll be seeing from all of our police officers. That time is over. Recently, I know I always speak about the long-term care facilities and the nursing homes. We've received another shipment of personal protective equipment from the Strategic National Stockpile and have delivered thousands of masks and other types of PPE to our long-term care facilities in the city, and we will continue to work with them as they work with the most vulnerable population in attempts to control this horrific disease. As the chief said, I'd also like to thank everyone for their cooperation, everyone who's doing it right. And again, you see my passionate words for the people that are not. I apologize to the people who are doing the right thing, that you need to be exposed to this, and you need to hear this from us for doing the right thing. But unfortunately, until we can get everybody to do what they're supposed to do, that's the message that we in fact have to put out, because there just still are people that are not getting it. We are not open for business. The parks are still not open. It's no time for anything but social distancing. Nothing has changed. Is it getting closer? Yes, it's getting closer than we were 57 days ago when this emergency started, but it's not here yet. And if you don't do that, and you don't do what you're supposed to do, you're only going to be bringing that time and extending that time even longer. So again, as I always say, stay home for your health, stay home for our health. We all want to see our loved ones again. I'd like to introduce Mayor Wilda Diaz to come back up for a few more
Thank you,
comments.
Deputy Chief. I just want to thank all the men and women that are working for the city right now. As you can see, not only is our police department that has been diligently doing their job throughout the city, we're just asking the residents to please cooperate with us. And as you can see, the police department will continue to enforce. Those days of advising the residents are over, as you heard. As mayor, I'm again here along with my office staff to assist you. And once again, I want to remind you, you're not alone in this. We are in this together. If you have any questions, please continue to call us. The number is 732-826-7121. You can also email us at the mayor's office at perthamboynj.org. For updates and more information, please visit www.ci.perthamboynj.org. We have information links. Please log on, and you'll see that our website, we're continuously updating it, and it's to provide you with the most accurate information. If you know anyone, again, that needs assistance, please continue to call Human Services. That number is 732-826-1690, extension 4305. And I just want to share the sentiment of the whole entire city for all the families that are mourning right now the loss of their loved ones. Please accept our sincerest condolences, and please reach out to these families if you know them. I'm sure that they would appreciate that phone call right now, and because we are during this time period, we have to abide by social distancing. But I'm sure they would appreciate at least a phone call, just to assure them that you're here for them. But at this moment, I'm going to pass it over to Kenny Ortiz, the head of our Human Services, who has been so busy. This whole weekend, I can tell you that a lot of meals went out to many of our community members.
Good afternoon, everyone. I'd just like to reiterate a few things that we've spoken about before. We are receiving numerous phone calls for assistance with food. And what we are doing in the Department of Human Services, that we're prioritizing those individuals or families who have confirmed cases of COVID-19 in their home. Many of those people have to stay quarantined. So if you know of someone that's looking for assistance because they can't get outside of their home, please direct them those phone calls to the mayor's office or to our office. We understand that you can't go outside, can't go to the supermarket. We're trying to do deliveries twice a week right now, but we are prioritizing those individuals and families that have a confirmed case of COVID-19. Another thing that we're finding out is through our phone calls and our follow-up is that many of the families and students don't know that there are providing some meals through the district. So please, the school district is providing meals Monday, Wednesday, and Friday from 8 a.m. to 11 a.m. Nobody would have thought at this point, more than a month into this, that there would be people that would not know, or students or families, that we are giving out those meals. So if you know of anyone, as long as the young person or the children live in Perth Amboy, they're eligible to receive their meals. Okay? They don't have to go to school in Perth Amboy as long as they're a Perth Amboy resident. Okay? So once again, I'd like to reiterate, we are providing meals to our seniors and transportation to medical and for grocery shopping. You can call the office of the Department of Human Services at 732-826-1690, extension 4305 or 4307. So I believe the mayor has wrapped up her message. So I'd like to say, everybody to Perth Amboy, please be safe. If you're in need of assistance, please call those numbers that were provided. Thank you and have a great day.